Alright gamers, it's your boy Waffles back at it again with another video. Today we're doing the 30-day Linux challenge. We're gonna see if it's suitable for an average user. Now, because we're an average user, I've got this fucking 10 billion subscriber YouTube channel. I'm a fucking Techttuber, right? So we're gonna need the entire Adobe suite. We're gonna need fucking Adobe Premiere. We're gonna need After Effects. We're gonna need all of the red fucking premium plugins and all of that shit. So, I don't know if you know much about me, right? But back when I was in high school, I took a graphic design career path, and it turns out they were really trying to teach us like front end web development, but like super primitive. So, but graphic design, they taught us all on Adobe. Now, the problem with teaching us on Adobe was this was back in the CS6 kind of era, right? And so for web development, we were learning Dreamweaver and Fireworks. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Fireworks, but it does not exist anymore. So I was left with I had to like pirate it afterward. I had to like crack Fireworks to get it working on Windows for the longest time. And I started noticing though, especially as like JPEG XL and WebP and all this other stuff, like APNG and stuff started coming out. A lot of images would not load in Fireworks anymore because I would like use it as an image manipulator. So I was like, oh fuck it, I can switch to Photoshop. I didn't really learn much Photoshop. I learned a bit, but I was using Fireworks for all my stuff because mostly what I did was like element editing and stuff. I liked their interface because it was a lot easier to use. Layers were super easy to get working, and I could like overlay text and shapes and stuff, and that was all important to me. And I was even able to make like GIFs in it, which was really cool. Now, I did end up switching to Photoshop for a bit, but I found the interface not super familiar, and that got me thinking. So especially as I started switching over to Linux, I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to use Adobe anymore. And one of the first things I did though was like Adobe had gotten really hard to crack, especially without getting malware, and obviously I can't afford that shit. But I knew I needed this stuff to do like graphic design. But what I found was I was like, okay, fuck it. I will try to learn the GIMP. I'll try to learn GIMP and see if I can use that. And it turns out for what I was doing, GIMP was like perfectly manageable. I don't really do a whole lot these days. Like mostly what my graphic design comes down to is like putting text on like a business card or some shit. It's super easy. All I really need to know is like typography and like very basic image manipulation. So what was cool about that though was GIMP was portable. So I was able to take GIMP with me, and somebody's like, "Here, I need you to check out my laptop. I've got like a business card on it or like a banner or whatever, and I need you to like make it super huge fucking res so it'll print accurately on the banner." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me just install GIMP on your computer real quick, and I'll like make a mock-up right in front of you." And that was super easy because I mean I already knew how to do all that shit since I had relearned everything on GIMP. So since I was using free software, now I was able to not only use my software on Linux, but use it on other people's computers, which was important. So I kind of get really annoyed when people say that GIMP is just not usable because I've had to make do. Like, yeah, back when I was using Adobe, Fireworks was the thing I used. So how do you think I feel that all my shit doesn't work anymore? Like, yeah, I needed the image formats that GIMP supported. And I needed it not to be Adobe. But going back to the main topic of the video is yeah, we need like fucking Lightroom and vector images and shit for my YouTube channel, and this kind of goes back to my one of my last videos I made, which was about just bloat, because like, okay, I get it, you have to appease the fucking algorithm, but when you when you rely so much on this super super proprietary software that just fucks you in and out, and it's not worth it. And I'm like, I would rather take the dip in quality and just do it my way, do it on the free software, than I would fucking trying to mishmash all this garbage together, trying to cobble together a super proprietary setup and just pray the company allows me to use it for however long. And DaVinci Resolve has been a sore spot because, like, not only does it not support my hardware, but it also, I don't like its interface. I don't like how it works. It doesn't even support AMD. It doesn't support ROCm. So it's just straight NVIDIA only. And I don't want to pay for codecs. I already have codecs. You need to fucking import them from my system, man. Don't charge me $300 because your shit's super proprietary. You know what I mean? That's not my fucking fault. That's your fault. So I don't like being fucking cucked like that, I swear. But what's happened though is you get these fucking YouTubers that do like a fucking 30-day Linux challenge or whatever, and they're like, okay, to see if Linux is usable, I gotta be able to do my entire fucking workflow. And it's like, dude, nobody fucking does that. Not even for my channel, I don't do that. Like, you can see my fucking OBS window. I could fucking minimize it. I could do that, if I wanted to. I just don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, I choose to have the shitty visuals I do because honestly, I don't really give a shit about visuals. But the other thing too is it's not the important part of the video. It's not, this isn't why you're watching my channel. You don't come to it for visual flair. You come to it for my garbage opinion. But anyways, so you get, it's really, really fucking hard to relate to a tech tuber who's got like two fucking Elgato Stream Decks, who's got like the like fucking super proprietary, like, I guess Elgato again, fucking audio interface or whatever, and they're like, oh shit, man, I gotta run like all these super premium plugins like fucking Tech Syndicate, where, hey man, maybe your music is too fucking processed since you need all these fucking plugins to make your fucking music. Like, sorry for cursing so much. I don't care, but you know what I mean. Like, I feel like it's getting a bit too Reddit in here. Uh, so I get kind of pissed off because I had to use those plugins. I had to do it, and now I can't use any of those things, and I've had to relearn all my shit. So like, why can't you? Why can't you take the dip for like one video, just to say, hey, I was able to do this on Linux. I wasn't able to do everything. I can't fucking run FL Studio. I can't run the Lightroom. I can't run Premiere with the red plugins or whatever. That was all I really ended up using. I didn't need too many plugins for what I was doing. But I switched to Cadent Live. I was able to do those 2-hour renders without any fucking issues. I am able to use the free software, and because of that, I don't want to say like I have a moral superiority, although it does get rather fucking close to that. But what it does mean is, like, I accept the system I'm using. I'm not making demands of it that are unreasonable. You know what I mean? I am very lucky that I'm able to do all my gaming on it, and yes, I do make sacrifices. Not that I want to run Chinese fucking spyware all like Chinese rootkits on my computer, but it does help to know that because I'm on Linux now, I'm not able to, and I'm willing to work around that to play the games I actually give a shit about. But I'm willing to do all my graphic shit in GIMP. I'm willing to use Kdenlive Live as my video editor. I don't want to fucking use DaVinci Resolve. But when we start doing these like 30-day YouTube Linux challenges, it's like, yeah, you want a whole ass proprietary workflow to work on a free operating system. Like, what do you expect is going to happen? And because of that, you become very unrelatable to your users, because who the fuck gives a shit? They're like, oh yeah, I don't need Adobe. I haven't used Adobe before. I use fucking MS Paint or whatever. Or I use Paint.net, or I use whatever. I don't use Adobe. I don't use Premiere. I don't use DaVinci. I don't fucking do any of that because I am an average user. So I'm like, I get sick and tired of these videos. And I've got one up on my screen right now, of course, but it's like, you're not, who are you teaching? Everybody knows that the creative shit doesn't work on Linux yet. I mean, I'm able to do all my stuff. If I actually wanted to put in effort, I would be able to do it, but I just don't want to. But there are plenty of channels that do use Linux for their content creation, and it's not bad. You're able to make decent enough thumbnails. There's plenty of channels that are able to record whatever footage. I could record gameplay footage if you really wanted me to. I know people keep asking for that, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't really want to like record gameplay and put it in the video. That requires like a whole nother step and another program, and I don't want to bother with it. But it's just really annoying to see like, is Linux ready for the average user, and then you come up with like the most like the most abnormal circumstances in order to use an operating system, where not everybody is a content creator, not everybody's going to need super professional graphics editing, video editing, audio production software. We don't need it. We're average users, you know. So like, it gets really, I don't know, it's just like pointless. It's pointless, you know. So anyways, that's really all I wanted to say about that. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.